All right. Before we get started on financial aid, for those of you just joining, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, the territory of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. We thank you for the opportunity to work, study, and play here. We are about to begin our session on financial aid with representatives from the foundation and financial aid teams. At 10:30, Indigenous Education team will be joining us, and at 11, International Education will be on. So we welcome you to stick around. Ask your questions in the Q&A. We do have advisors and international advisors and Indigenous advisors here to answer your questions. If you're not comfortable typing in the Q&A box, please hover over the bottom part of the screen. There is a raise hand button. You can click on that, and Erin, our tech moderator today, will make sure that you're answered there. There are links. You can see them all in the chat. Advisor Zoom group is open until 5 o'clock. Just a reminder that this is being recorded, and you will have access to it on experience, vcc.ca/experience. Sorry, Emily, I talk really fast. All right, I would like to welcome Charlie from Financial Aid to give you information about everything you need to know to help support your studies here at VCC.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlie Adranin. I work in the financial aid office as a financial aid assistant. Everything I'm going to be mentioning today is on our VCC website under financial aid. If you do have questions, please put it through the Q&A and we'll try to get to them after the presentation. Or if you have in-depth questions, please email us at financialaid@vcc.ca. The link will be at the end of the presentation that you guys could follow. Financial aid is here to enable students to realize their educational goals. It's based for students with financial need, and students who are going to be applying for financial need should be applying in advance. We're going to be talking about the adult upgrading grant, student loans, part-time study grants, and bursaries today. First, under the adult upgrading grants, these are for ESL classes, ABE classes such as Basic Ed, College Career Access, College Foundations, and also the adult special education classes. These are upgrading courses that people will be taking, and they can apply for a grant to cover the cost of the fees. Some courses do have tuition fees. Most upgrading classes currently do not, but there's also college initiative fees, student union fees, and we may cover the Compass card as well, depending if you're qualified to get a Compass card. And how things end up in September, hopefully we're back to that and everybody can come and join us at the college. So to qualify for an adult upgrading grant, you must show financial need. So when you're applying, we need to see your 2020 Notice of Assessment from Revenue Canada, which means the taxes you've done this year for last year. If you are married, we also need to see your spouse's Notice of Assessment. Also, we need to see your social insurance card. And if you are a permanent resident or a landed immigrant, we need a copy of your permanent resident card, and we need a copy of both sides, the front and the back. In order to continue with the adult upgrading grant, after the first term you apply, you want to apply again, you must be successful in the program in order to qualify again for the adult upgrading grant. You need to apply every term, and every term we need to see the assessments and your PR card when you do apply. Now we're going to be talking about the student loans. So the student loans are for full-time programs. The program itself must qualify for a loan. The program itself must be a minimum 4 months long. So when you do apply for a student loan, you are applying for a federal loan, a provincial loan, and a grant. So before you apply for the loan, you must be accepted into the program that you're going into. And when you do get accepted and you pay the $300 non-refundable or the non-refundable deposits for the higher end programs, you need to apply to studentaidbc.ca. If you're going to be applying for a student loan starting programs in August, September, October, or after, you must wait till the end of July for a student loan to be available online. Currently, we're still dealing with classes that start all the way till the end of June and July. So you do have to wait. There are some international students that are watching. Unfortunately, international students cannot apply for a student loan. They do not qualify. So now we're going to talk about the part-time study grants. The part-time study grant, you have to be in a program that qualifies as full-time, but you're taking it on a part-time basis, such as our music program. You can take any amount of credits. You need a minimum 3 credits to apply for the part-time study grant until 8 credits. Anything over 8 credits will become a full-time loan. It's the same thing with our university transfer courses. If you're taking 1 or 2 courses, you can apply for the part-time study grant. 3 or more, you have to apply for a full-time loan. Normally, people who apply for the part-time study grant will get a grant if they qualify. However, if you're in a higher bracket, it actually is going to be a loan. It won't be a grant. So those might have to be paid back. However, you can always apply if you don't want to use it. That's fine, you don't have to use it. But it's always good to apply if you're taking 1 or 2 courses to find out, see if you're going to qualify or not. Normally, the part-time study grant gives out about $1,800 per year. So the first time you're going to apply, if you do it in the first term, they usually give about $1,200. This is an approximation. It could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. After that, the remainder would be given to you in the second application. So if you get $1,200 the first, you'll get $700 in the second, and that'll be it for the full year, fiscal year of the part-time study grant. And then we're going to go over to the bursaries. So people who can apply for bursaries are people who show, students who show a financial need. It's for full-time students to apply for bursary. However, we do accept part-time students to apply for bursaries to see if there's anything we can do to try to help them out. You must be passing all your courses in order to qualify for a bursary. Bursaries are based on the end date of your program. So if you're taking a program that finishes anywhere between November, December, January, February, you can apply for the bursary in September. If you're going to be finishing March, April, May, or June, you'll be applying in January for your student loan. Completion of classes from July, August, September, October, you would be applying in June. There are programs that are over a year long. If so, such as the practical nursing program at 16 months, you can apply for 2 bursaries because the loan is broken up into two loans. So that means you can actually apply twice for a bursary. For programs that are 3 to 4 years long, like hospitality, you can go 4 years, music can go 4 years, Bachelor of Science Nursing, 4 years. You can apply 4 times for that bursary to see if you can qualify or not. We also, that's it for bursaries, but we also have, I'm just going to mention, we do have entrance awards. So please go to the financial aid website on the VCC website and just see if you can apply for any type of entrance awards as well to help you with the program that you're trying to get into. So that's it from my side. I'm going to pass you over to Carolyn, and she will continue with the foundation questions and presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. So that is a lot of information, really dense. Again, if you go back to vcc.ca/financial aid, all of that information is there. And if you find it hard to interpret, please email Charlie's team or phone them. They're very, very helpful. My name is Carolyn, and I work for the foundation, which is a separate entity to the college. We are a registered charity, and our entire goal is to help support students realize success. We raise money for student bursaries, awards, and scholarships. We also raise money to help support programs. We help fund them so that they are less costly to you. We also raise money and collect donations for equipment and that sort of thing. So I am blessed every day to work with this fantastic team whose whole goal is to help make your life as a student easier. And I get to work with amazing donors every day as well, which is incredible. Last year, the VCC Foundation distributed over 400 awards to students. 280,000 was given in awards and over 320,000 was given in bursaries. All of that money was not needed to be repaid. That was freely given with no strings attached. So it's really incredible. Next slide, please. I just want to talk you through the difference because sometimes things need to be paid back and sometimes things don't. Gifts from the foundation do not need to be paid back. A bursary, as Charlie mentioned, is distributed based on financial need. They are private and confidential. No one outside of the financial aid office will ever know that you received a bursary. Charlie talked about 3 intakes, September, January, and June. However, if you are in the middle of your program and things are really, really hard, go to financial aid and ask. You need help, ask for it, because there are funds available and we can make money available to you. If you are having trouble making ends meet, whether that's rent, food, tuition, books, we can help. There is money available, so go ask. Everybody is there at some point in their life. We're there to help you get through it. A scholarship is an award given in recognition of academic excellence or achievement. If you are working really hard in your classes and you are succeeding and you're getting a great grade point average, your teachers will recognize that and put your name forward for a scholarship. You don't have to do anything at all. Twice a year, we hold student awards ceremonies in November and in May. And again, all you have to do is do really well in your classes and your teachers will put your name forward and you will receive a scholarship. It's amazing. An award is based on a broader range of criteria. So you don't have to just do really well in your class to get money for doing really well. Sometimes doing really well is based on other things, and our donors recognize that. Maybe you don't have the highest mark in class, but you're a really good leader. You participate really, really well, and you encourage those in your classroom to do really well. That's recognized, and your teacher will put your name forward for an award that recognizes that. Maybe you're working 2 jobs, you're going to school, you're supporting a child, and your teacher recognizes that that's pretty incredible. And you get recognized for that too, because a donor recognizes that that's important. Sometimes it's community involvement or any number of things. We have awards for all sorts of things. And again, because our classes are small and teachers get to know you, you get recognized for being outstanding on your own. So there are lots of opportunities to get monetary help when you need it. All right, next slide. How do you get the money? First and foremost, go to the financial aid website and complete the online application for scholarships, awards, or bursaries. Again, the scholarships and awards, usually you're nominated for, but there are some that you need to fill out an application for, and you would be surprised how few people do. So do it, because you might get it. The bursaries you do need to apply for, but you only need to apply once. One form puts your name out for all the bursaries available. Financial aid takes over the work from there, and they try and find something that will help you. And so just keep your eye open for applications and deadlines. Again, it's all on the website. And if you're not sure, email them, financialaid@vcc.ca. They can help you. And if you're really excited and you want to be a donor, hint, hint, you can email the foundation at give@vcc.ca. Yeah, the last word there, apply, apply, apply. There's money for you. You just need to ask. All right, so questions to financialaid@vcc.ca. If you have questions right now, please put them in the Q&A. We'll happily answer any of them for you. Wow, I burned through that really quickly. We've got 15 minutes for questions.
Well, I can add up some stuff. Just to explain, for the adult upgrading grant, you do apply. The application is found on the VCC Financial Aid website. You need a desktop to drag the application to, fill it out, and then you email it back to financialaid@vcc when you are applying. So please do that. Also, if you can't find the 21-22 application, send us an email at financialaid@vcc.ca, and we'll email you the application to fill out as well. So please do that. Also, listening to Carolyn, I was realizing there are students who have a disability, and there is some sort of funding that they can talk through a disability counselor with to see if they can get any type of assistance for any needs that they have. So they should book an appointment with a disability advisor or counselor. Also, there are sponsors for Indigenous people. I know Tony Gladstone's coming on afterwards. She is fantastic to help students if they have any questions or needs that way. So please do talk to Tony Gladstone as well.
Absolutely. I can't tell you the number of times I've seen Tony physically walk students over to the financial aid office to walk through the process. If you need help with the forms, people are available to help you fill out the forms. And please don't think that these are available only to domestic students. We have lots of opportunities for international students as well. I know some of the government loans are only available to domestic students, but the foundation works really hard at getting bursaries that are available for international students. During COVID, for example, we raised a significant amount of money that was specifically targeted for international students because there was so much help available to domestic students through the government that wasn't available to international students. And so the foundation worked to make sure that our international students were also supported. We have specific awards for newcomers to Canada. Yeah, there's all kinds. If you go to vcc.ca/awards, you can see examples of our previous awards ceremonies and the types of awards that are given. There are a number of awards that are specific to departments. So dental gets a number of awards. Music has a ton of awards. Transportation trades have lots of awards. And even the more general adult upgrading gets a lot of awards. They're in every department, culinary for sure, baking, you name it, they all do. So many of our alumni become donors and give back. And at our award ceremonies, they often come to personally give the award to the recipient. It's a wonderful community feel where previous recipients become donors. And there's this circle of giving that is truly amazing to watch.
If I could just point out about the bursaries, I go through the bursaries when I'm doing all the evaluations, and there's lots of donors that have criteria that students have not applied to that have those criteria. So there's a lot of students out there that may qualify for a bursary that we can't give to other students. So it's sitting there waiting for somebody who meets that criteria. So please just apply. Just read the criteria, what the application requires. But if you don't apply, you don't know. So go ahead and apply. If you don't qualify, that's fine. You might qualify for the next term, but just apply to see if you do qualify, because sometimes we can't fulfill one of the criterias, and that bursary has to hold on till the next term. So just, if you can, just go ahead and do it. It's easy to fill out, and if we can help you, that'd be wonderful.
I think there is a question in the Q&A.
If I'm applying for the ASL course in September and I'm not sure if there will be room, do I apply for the bursary now or when I know I have gotten in?
So I'll answer that. That's the bursaries are based on the end date of the program. So depending on when your course ends, that's when you'd be applying for the bursary. So if like I said, if you, as I mentioned earlier, if you're ending your class in November or December, you'd be applying in September. November, December, January, February, you apply in September. So just check our VCC Financial Aid website under bursaries for the specific dates. And as long as you know your end date of your program, that time the application will open up, and just go ahead and apply.
Usually on the very, very front, like the opening page of vcc.ca, there's a box when bursaries and applications are available. It'll spotlight those dates. So it's a good idea to check in every once in a while to see if those are popping up, because it will let you know if now's the time.
Yeah, and continuing studies has their own bursaries when they can apply. It's a separate date, so people can apply for that as well. If you're in the fashion arts program or the early childhood education or medical device reprocessing technician, you would apply as other students would on the regular bursaries. The rest who are taking continuing studies courses through continuing studies, they'll have a different date for application. So just read those as well and be aware when to apply. They're separate dates.
There are, as Charlie mentioned at the beginning, there are entrance awards for students just coming out of high school. So if you are in high school, talk to your student counselor or your school counselor, or ask at financial aid. Those are available and really underutilized. So check those out.
And I would just like to thank Carolyn. She pointed out earlier that if you're in need, do approach financial aid. We are there to try to help the students as best as we can. And yes, if you're in a desperate situation, please do come find us, 100%. We'll try to help you as best as we can. And I'm really grateful you brought that up, because I completely forgot about that. So thank you, Carolyn.
Of course. VCC has a special kind of community in our culinary and hospitality programs. A large part of your program is actually cooking a meal or two. And so some of our students, that is where they eat, is at school and not at home. And so when we transitioned to online, they didn't have that opportunity to eat at school. And suddenly they had to buy groceries that wasn't in their budget previously. And we did wind up supporting a number of students who came to us saying, I don't have money at the end of the day to buy my groceries. And that's where the COVID relief came in, and where the government supported domestic students and the foundation supported our international students. We hadn't recognized that that was a reality for so many. And it took something as horrible as COVID for us to realize that that is the reality for a lot of our students. And now that we know, we have the means to do something about it. So we're very grateful to the donors that helped make that happen. But we want you to know that that is available to you. And if you need it, just ask. We are truly a community college, and we're here to support you in any way that we can. So thanks, Danielle. vcc.ca/apply is how you make your application. Promo code is info0421. For those that are missing what that means, it's today's date, April 21st, info0421. That will waive the application fee for one program for domestic students. As much as you'd like to apply for them all, apply for one. If you're having trouble deciding which way you want to go, make an appointment to talk to a counselor. They can help hone in what your strengths and skills are, and what you're really interested in. Counselors are fantastic for helping identify where your strengths lie and where you're best suited. For your chance to win one of 3 $1,000 tuition credits. This is a huge help for a lot of people. vcc.ca/experience. Your code to enter is TRANSFORM, TRANSFORM, TRANSFORM. This afternoon, if you attend any of our info sessions, there will be another code, so you can have another chance to win if you attend one of the afternoon info sessions. For the entire schedule, go to vcc.ca/experience, and you can see what's coming up today. You'll also find videos of yesterday's classes. They might not be up yet, but they will be in the next few days. So go back to take a look at some that you might have missed. All right. What's our time? 10:28. Any last questions for financial aid before we welcome our Indigenous Education and Community Engagement team?
Well, while we're waiting for a question, I'm just going to point out, when you're applying for the full-time loan or part-time study grant, the forms are on studentaidbc.ca. So you can go to that website to do the forms. For the part-time study grant, after you fill it out, you must email it to financialaid@vcc.ca once you've completed the form. And then we can go ahead and process that for you.
Oh, thanks, Erin. She was quick on that one. So we have a whole team behind the scenes that has made Experience VCC happen today. I'd like to thank all of them for being a part of this today. Emily has been our ASL interpreter for the last half hour. Thank you, Emily.